Hi guys, welcome to today's NBA DraftKings first look for Friday. We've got 7 games on the docket. Hit the notification bell and you'll never miss one of these shows. Hit the thumbs up as well to show me that you like it. Leave a comment. Whatever you want to do down below, just drop it in there. Let's talk about these games. First one, Boston, Brooklyn. In Brooklyn, this is a back-to-back for Boston, so don't expect Kemba Walker to play. Jaylen Brown also sat out on Thursday, so his status is up in the air. And Robbie Williams unlikely to be out there for Boston also, while James Harden's going to be missing for Brooklyn, as is Nick Claxton, while Kevin Durant has been upgraded to questionable. I do like Tristan Thompson at 4,900. He's going to play probably 30-plus minutes as he's been doing the last few, and that would make a lot of sense. Kyrie is good, obviously. 10-1 is a lot. I'm way more in on Kyrie at 10-1 if Durant doesn't play, but I still think it's worth going for. And without Kemba, do we take a crack at Romeo Langford, who played 30-plus minutes on Thursday? He's not normally a big stat accumulator, but if Kemba's out, if Evan Fournier is out, which is expected, and if Jaylen Brown sits out again, could Romeo Langford have some value here in this one? Yeah, maybe. Minimum salary, you got to at least consider it. Tatum at 10,000. I'm not quite there with him. I do like Marcus Smart at 6,900 though. He gets a lot more usage, a lot more ball handling when Kemba is out, so that does work in his favor in this one. Durant's at 9,000. I won't use him first game back. Bruce Brown's at 5,500. You're very interested in Brown. Probably less so interested in him if Durant does play, but there is still value there for him, while Landry Shamet is up at 4,700. His last game wasn't particularly good, and if Durant plays, I would not be interested really in using Shamet. DeAndre Jordan at 3,900 is good. DeAndre Jordan's not good, but at 3,900, there is value for him with Nick Claxton sidelined. Let's go. Next game. We're looking at the Miami Heat. They're taking on the Atlanta Hawks. Of course, the Hawks are going to be without Trae Young. The last 2 games that Young has sat, Brandon Goodwin has been the starter, so he is an option for us here. We don't know exactly what direction they'll go. I would be pretty flummoxed if they went with Lou Williams into that spot. But Goodwin's at 3,400, so that to me looks like a really, really good option. If we go and have a look at Goodwin's log of games, you'll see he had a start there for 32 and a start for 36, so that's great value. I think you've got to use him there. Lou's at 4,300, there is still value in him at that price. And on the Miami side of things, Victor Oladipo remains out. Kendrick Nunn's at 5,100. Bit disappointing last game from Nunn, but I don't mind using him. And I love Bogdan Bogdanovic without Trae Young. He's going to get passing opportunities, usage opportunities, great chances for big numbers. 8,800 for Clint Capella. Now, Capella's questionable, so I would be pretty hesitant to use that, and I'd be really watching that because that means Onyeka Okongwu at 3,100 is the guy that comes in and will put up some pretty numbers at least to beat basically minimum salary. Butler's at 97 for Miami. I don't care for that. I think Johnny Collins will still be on a minutes restriction, so 6,800 doesn't really work there for me. And we don't know whether the Italian cock Danilo Gallinari is going to play. At 5,500, maybe he could be an option, but I'm not going to feel super confident in it. I do like the 58 for Kevin Huerter, though. I do think there is value in him. Again, with Trae Young out, more passing opportunities, more scoring opportunities, most likely coming his direction. The Clippers. The Rockets, that is the next game we take a look at. Paul George and Reggie Jackson will return, but Kawhi, Beverly, and Ibaka will all remain sidelined, while Daniel House has been upgraded to probable for the Rockets. Kevin Porter will be out once again with the health and safety protocols at this point. Well, not at this point. He just will be out. That's how it goes. The Clippers are 11.5-point favorites, and the total is 221.5 points. Rajon Rondo is questionable for the Clippers as well. Paul George is at 9,300. No Kawhi. The minutes could be limited here, given that it could be a blowout, but I still like Paul George there. Zubats at 5,400 looks strong as well, especially in a cash game type scenario, while Marcus Morris at 61, I also think, has a pretty solid floor without Kawhi Leonard around. John Wall's just shooting way too much. I can't get behind that. Amani Brooks at 3,600 could be worth looking at, but if House is back, they probably push Brooks back to the bench. And Christian Wood, the crucifix, he's struggling, and I don't want to use him. Jayshawn Tate at 62 and Kelly Olynyk at 68 feel like they're a bit too highly priced. And I think the big Terrence Mann game last time came because Jackson and George are out, so I would not want to bank on that repeating itself. The next game we look at here, Cleveland and Charlotte. This is a back-to-back for the Charlotte Hornets. The Cavs are going to be without Taurean Prince, who's having ankle surgery. Kevin Love is at 6,500. Now, Love has been playing at a solid enough level. I'm just not sure that 6,500 is the right spot. I like Darius Garland a lot at his salary, 6,800. He's playing at a higher level. while Colin Sexton at 73 also comes in looking pretty damn good to me. PJ Washington Jr. is coming off the bench for the Hornets while they start Vernon Carey. Whether they continue to do that or not remains to be seen. Carey starts, but really is a starter only in name only. Washington can be risky because he is relatively inconsistent, but at least he's an option there for us. Rozier at 8,700 always just feels a little bit too high, so I don't love it. But I do think that Miles Bridges we're going to look at. I just hate that he's at 8,000. It is a lot for Miles Bridges. The numbers have been good, and I probably would fade it just mainly because it's on a back-to-back. The Hornets 1-point favorites here, but the total is a measly 209 points. The Washington Wizards and the Oklahoma City Thunder is the next game that we're going to take a look at here. The Wizards are 9-point favorites. The total's 230. Of course, Denny Avdia is out for the season for the Wizards, while Rui Hachimura will miss this game as well. For the Thunder, Lou Dort remains questionable. Hull Neto's at 3,400. He has started the last couple, and if he's going to start and at 3,400, I think we have to have a look at him as a guy that we can use. Bertans should get another start as well without Hachimura at 4,300. He works for me. And Dan Gafford. Now, I know we can't really trust Scott Brooks, but at 3,800, I'm all about Gafford. I also think Westbrook at 11,000. We know he's going to take shots, ill-advised or not, and he's going to put up numbers. So that works for me. I think if Dort plays at 6,800, he's all right, but there is a risk of regression with his shooting. And Beal at 96 feels a little bit too high. Svi Mihailuk is at 3,800. 40 points last time out. I would use Svi if Dort is out, but that's probably the only scenario. And then Baisley also comes into discussions if Dort is out. Alexei Pokusevski's off the injury report, but he is too unreliable for me to really want to lock into lineups all that much. The next game we look at here is the Memphis Grizzlies. They are taking on the Portland Trailblazers. In this one, we're in Portland for it. Jonas Valanciunas remains out for Memphis, but Jaren Jackson will be playing. Derek Jones Jr. also listed as questionable for Portland. Nurkic is at 5,200. He played 29 minutes last game and had 27 points, and that wasn't a good game for Nurkic. I think at 5,200, he is an absolute no-brainer. D'Anthony Melton, it's just too risky. I just have no idea what sort of nonsense Taylor Jenkins is going to throw out there, and that makes it relatively hard to have any real level of trust in what he's going to produce. It's almost impossible. Tillman's at 46, and without Valanciunas, the cashier does work for me at that price. While Morant at 7,200, I also think looks pretty strong. You got Lillard at 95. I don't want to commit to that. McCollum at 86 also feels too high. And then Jaren Jackson is up at 7,000. Now, he had 34 in his first game back. I do not think he maintains that level of production, so 7,000 feels like complete overkill. Carmelo Anthony and Enes Kanter aren't really options there, and I think 6,500 for Storm and Norman Powell is also on the high side. I don't know if I mentioned it, but the Blazers are 3-point favorites, and the total is 232.5. The last game of the day, Denver Nuggets, Golden State Warriors. The Nuggets are 3-point favorites, and the total here is 228 points. No Monty Morris for Denver. Well, one Toscano Anderson could be back for Golden State, but Damian Lee is out. Bazemore's at 4,100. He's going to get a lot of minutes with Lee out, and he had some great numbers last game, 52 points. I like him there. I like Jordy Poole a little bit as well. We know he's going to get his shots up. He could work for us there. Well, Jokic at 10.9, I think he's going to have a pretty big performance. Draymond's at 6,900, not really interested. Kelly Oubre at 58 is a good upside play, and Farton Will Barton at 55 also, I think, is relatively strong at that suppressed salary. Curry's at 10.3, maybe feels a little bit too high, but I'm not 100% against it. Aaron Gordon at 53 is a GPP option, while Maga Porter's at 7,700, and I also feel like that's probably a little bit too high for Michael there. If we take a look at the overall plays of the day, I like Goodwin, Neto, Nurkic, Bazemore, Tristan Thompson, Jordan Poole, PJ Dozier a little bit, Bertans, Jokic, Lou Williams, Tillman, Paul George, Dan Gafford, Ja Morant, Jaylen Brown if he plays, Russell Westbrook, Kyrie Irving, Kelly Oubre, and Devontae Graham looks not too bad for me. Guys, don't forget, hit the notification bell, hit the thumbs up, follow me at my channel as well. It's linked in the title, linked in the description, at Josh Lloyd Fantasy Basketball. Good luck with your lineups. Have a good day. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. See ya.